Hello everyone, I'm Colleen Para and welcome to Pius Talk. This is our weekly talk show at St. Pius Catholic Church in Tucson, Arizona. And every week we get to hear some wonderful stories from some of our parishioners and from some members of our Catholic community all over the country. And we talk to them about their walks with Christ and also what they do for our community and the people in our community. So today I'm very grateful to have Paul Smith with me. He is here to talk about today's topic, which is neighbors helping neighbors. Why go hungry? And Paul, you're involved in the food pantry at St. Pius. Tell me about that.
Okay, the food pantry is part of the Samaritan committee and has quite a few volunteers that help stock the shelves, and then we hand out food twice a week, Wednesday from 1 to 3 and Friday from 10 to 12. And unfortunately, you would think we would have more now, but because the office was closed and we were closed down, before the pandemic hit, we were doing 130 to 150, I'll call them food boxes a week, and now we're doing about 30. Obviously, also, the amount of donations we had coming in was a lot more because the parishioners brought food when they came to church. So we had quite a bit, and we got some food from the community food bank, and then we bought food, and we have good relations with Fry's and a couple of the other stores so that we get a pretty good deal on the food that we buy from them.
So it sounds like we need to get the word out.
Absolutely.
That we're open. And tell me, who can come and get a food box?
Well, we have, if you want to say, two categories. We have the parishioners can come 12 times a year, generally no more than once a month. And non-parishioners within the parish boundaries can come 4 times in a year. We limit them to 4 times a year, but they could come 4 weeks in a row if they needed to, but then we wouldn't serve them anymore because we're not like the community food bank. So those are we both serve parishioners and non-parishioners within the parish boundaries.
So give me an example of the type of person who's needing this kind of help.
Wow, it's all shapes and sizes. It's families with both a husband and wife and children. Single parents, either a single father or single mother, and the food dollars are tight, and so they come to us and we provide them a couple of bags worth of food for both the kids and the adults. We don't do any fresh vegetables or perishables. We're not that kind, so it's canned and boxed food, bags of beans, cereal, and we have a wide variety of cereal, not just, Wheaties. We have cereal for the kids too. And peanut butter and jelly is a favorite.
Oh yeah.
And so we provide that, and it's two big bagfuls, and we hope it helps. We think it helps.
So all these people that you've seen over the years, there's got to be one family, one child, one person that maybe left an impression on you. Can you share that with us?
Well, there was, I'm not directly involved with issuing at the food bank, but we have a meeting about once a month with both the Samaritan side and the food pantry. And there was one family that came in. There was a mother and 3 children, and they had no food. And they were non-parishioners, and I don't know how they heard about us, but we have word of mouth through the community, or they may have called, or the 211 line with the state has places, and we have good contacts with St. Vincent de Paul and other parishes, and they'll send the people here. And she came, and it's just nice. That's one of the things. I can't imagine in a country as rich as we are that kids go hungry. That hurts me. I contribute to the food bank, and plus here, it's just amazing. So anytime we can help, those are big things to keep the kids fed. If you ask me what my deal was here, I wanted to be in the food pantry, but they had a lot, so I got to be in Samaritans, and I guess we're going to talk about that later.
We are, but before we get to the Samaritan ministry, tell everybody out in the audience, how can they help out? You're looking for, what types of food are you looking for?
We look for non-perishables. Beans, bags of beans, rice, canned vegetables, canned fruit, boxes of cereal. I assume we would take like Bisquick, because you can do a lot of things with Bisquick. Peanut butter. I like jam with my peanut butter, but peanut butter and jelly, honey. You can see some of the things here that work. Rice-a-roni, pasta-roni, mac and cheese. Kids like mac and cheese. My granddaughter loves mac and cheese. So,
I still love mac and
all
cheese,
that
Paul.
kind of stuff. Chili beans. If you tuna, canned tuna.
Good.
Canned chicken. Some of the canned meats. All those things, and they put together, the group that works that put together the best they can on proteins, carbohydrates, so that we can take care of the need.
Okay. Now, speaking of needs, the Samaritan ministry that you're also part of, it's all kind of connected here. Tell us about that ministry, and there are needs other than food.
Yes. Can I just quote from our mission? We work to provide financial assistance to prayer support for, and compassionate connections with the people in need within our parish boundaries. On the Samaritan side, we work with non-parishioners, the parishioners that are having trouble in the areas of utilities or rent. Go through the office, and Father Harry has another group that deals with them. We deal with the non-parishioners that are within our parish boundaries. We have all three utilities, TEP, Tucson Water, and Southwest Gas, and rent. I put a plug in for TEP. They have what they call an agency hotline, and that's who we work with, and they're wonderful. They are truly wonderful. They'll give us the best information once we have the account number of the person, and let us know exactly what they owe, what they need to pay to keep their electricity on. And we have a finite budget, and the budget is a little small, but it works. I mean, we get about 300 a week to plus it up. Some weeks we don't help anybody, so that's all carried forward. And last week we had 2 people we helped with TEP. One we helped with $300 and one with $225 or something like that. So we work hard to help them, but they have to help themselves, because the most we can provide them with is $300. And for example, in rent, if they owed $550, we couldn't give them the $300 unless they could get the $250, because we want to be sure that they're paid up for that month.
And don't get further and further behind. Got it.
So, and some stories there, and I know those stories better because I talked to the people. I had a man and 4 boys, his single dad, behind on his rent, and we worked hard to figure out if we could help him, but he had no way to get the additional funds necessary for his rent. So I don't know if he ended up becoming homeless or not.
That's got to be so hard on you and the rest of the committee to listen to those heartbreaking stories and not be able to help like you would.
It's wild. There was one lady, she couldn't drive. So she walked from over by Pantano and Speedway, about 2 blocks that way. She walked to St. Pius to get her check for her rent. When she showed us her check, she had to walk 2 places. She had to get a cashier's check first or a money order and then come here, and then we could help her out. But we see that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, people are out there and they need help.
And you're there to help them out.
And we do the best we can with what we have. That's correct.
And those of us in the audience, the best way to help is to donate. Right?
For the food pantry, you can donate food. I know they have communion on Sunday from 10 to 11, and you could bring it before that. They do have masses if you come into the mass, or even if you're not, if you brought it prior to the mass, they would take it. Or you could do like one of the things I do is I send in a separate check every month, and I put food pantry on it. And they take care of that. For the Samaritans, I've never thought about that, about saying Samaritans and giving them a little extra too. But that would, Linda Alexander's our finance person. She works real hard with us and helps us out. And if you wanted it to go to Samaritans, she'd be sure it was dedicated to Samaritans.
Well, you're a dedicated angel, Paul.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, yes, because with St. Pius, all that you've done with the food pantry, the Samaritan ministry, you're also a lector we see on the altar, the finance committee, the building committee. You've done a lot at St. Pius over the years, and your wife is a St. Pius representative on the Pima County Interfaith Council, which is a pretty powerful council representing
right
Pima
now
County.
It is. They're working to get the vote out.
Yes, yes. So tell me a little bit about your story here. Why do this? What do you get out of all this work that you're doing? Well,
first, I'd credit my wife. I guess I may have been a typical guy, you know, with church and stuff, but so we've been at St. Pius. We first came in '92 and got used. We had 4 kids, and 2 of which we adopted, and Father Harry was really helpful with them. And so it's kind of payback. You know, you get help, well then you help. You know, it's pay it forward. You hear that all the time, and towards the end of my time, the first time we were here, they were getting ready to do all the wonderful things they have done. And of course, then we had the thing with the pedophiles in the church, and we had to stop. We had just started a capital campaign. I had been working with them because that's my background. I was in the Corps of Engineers, and at Pima Community College, I was the director of facilities and construction, so I understood that. And we were working on that. I liked doing that. I liked the people I worked with. We had a good group of people on the finance committee, and of course trying to show the parish the importance of the capital campaign to get the work done for us. I went away to Olympia, Washington, and was a lector there at St. Michael's. Very similar attitude in the parish. Very similar. It was the only really big Catholic parish in the Olympia area. But he was like Father Harry, except he looked like Jesus Christ. He was thin and had a beard, and but the same positive attitude about the love of Christ. And that's what it's about. And we came back, of course, we didn't move into the same house we had before. We're a little farther away, but couldn't think of going to any other parish than St. Pius. The people here are warm, loving, and I enjoy my time here with the finance committee. I enjoy lecturing, and so it helps. It makes my day complete when I was so glad we could finally go to Mass. It was okay watching it on TV.
Not the same.
But the feeling you get, and the priests that come and do the Mass were terrific. And I get it. I mean, when I was young, you know, God was going to punish you.
Yes.
And I was ever so glad when the Catholic Church kind of flipped, and God is loving and forgives you and loves you and wants you to love Him. And I get that. That's important. You know, I was in the military, I understand what we do. But that's really, to me, was very important, is that love and acceptance. And we're here to help. And how can you help? And so that's how I feel about it.
Well, Paul, we are extremely lucky to have you as a member of our parish, you and your wife and your family. And I want to personally thank you for all that you have done, and keep going. We're going to get more people involved, and that's what it's all about. I really do appreciate you sharing your story today, and thanks for being part of Pius Talk.
One other thing, we need to have some more members on the Samaritan committee that talk to the people that have rent utility problems, because we do it for a week at a time, and there's 6 of us, and of course people take vacations, so sometimes you can say either unfortunate or fortunate enough, you have to do it twice in 1 month. For a while there, we were down to 3 of us, and so yes, it was, it gets hard on your heart.
I imagine.
When you do it that often.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have people call the office here at St. Pius to volunteer and find out more about it. And Paul, again, thank you so much for sharing your story, and God bless you.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Sure.